everybody, it's finally Friday and I'm about to hit the road to run and let the good times roll because this week has been crazy busy. Like I said the other day, I did a wonderful collaboration with a wonderful girl and I'm really excited for you to see our video, which will be coming out soon, so wait for that and stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe because you don't want to miss those things. And I get excited meeting with other YouTubers. It can be really cool and it makes me feel like I'm not such a weirdo that I like talk to my phone like this and I put things up. It's kind of weird. But anyways, if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. On Fridays, I'm on Facebook, and so if you asked your questions using the hashtag KatieFAQ, I found a bunch of them, and I already answered and talked to many of you. And do you know you can send like voice things on there now? I got one of those, which was really cool. So hi, Annie. Thanks for sending that. Okay, I have 3 questions, and I have a journal topic from Sam, so thanks, Sam, for sending me that. And let's get going. Here's our first question. Hey, Katie, is it normal to make backwards progress when starting with a new therapist? That's a good question. On campus at college, I've been seeing one counselor who referred me out to a different one over summer break. I see interns at school and they leave after 1 year. Is it normal to make backwards progress, i.e. depression again, flashbacks again, urges to self-harm, eating issues, etc.? And how do I cope with constantly being bounced around between counselors? That can be terrible. And I want to talk about this because many of you talked about switching therapists or finding out your therapist is leaving and having a hard time with it. And then what do we do? And all of that stuff that comes along with it. Sorry, I just realized the light is really weird today. I'm sorry, half of my face is dark. It can be really stressful. And the best way to manage it is to talk with your new therapist about it. It's hard being here. I was used to my old therapist. These are the things that we were working on. I guess the best way to manage it and the best way you can make it better for yourself is by talking to your new therapist about the worries, making sure they communicate with your old therapist so you don't have to keep starting over. Because that's the most frustrating thing, is that when we start with a new therapist, we have to kind of start over. Okay, so back when I was, and we're telling our story over and over and over. So I would encourage / like really push your therapist, whoever you're seeing, like let's say it was me and now I'm referring you to Sally Joe over here. I would keep calling me if I'm not responding right away to call Sally Joe to tell her all about what's going on with you so that you don't have to do it. Therapists have like a way that we speak. We're all understanding, like, oh, we're working, on issues of abuse with this, and that's how far we are with this. And it's like shorthand to get the gist so you don't have to repeat yourself. Now that can save you a lot of time and stress and anxiety. Now, the second thing that I would ask at school if they have any staff counselors. They're always there. They supervise the interns. There are people that they pay to be on staff. I actually considered taking a job like that a while ago, but I'm doing this and I have my practice and it just doesn't fit. But they have them on staff, and so I would ask to see one of them. Say it's been really, really hard for you to work on your recovery and to work on yourself while you're bouncing around. And I would just keep asking and asking. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, am I right? I know many of us struggle to speak up for ourselves, but we're our best advocate. We're the ones that can say the stuff that we know we need. It's harder when we rely on other people to read it or to assume, because then we're not speaking up for ourselves. And I think that it's really powerful for us to speak up for ourselves and to advocate for our own treatment. It can mean that we get an all-around better care. So I hope that helps. And if any of you have been through this and you have any words of advice and helpful hints and tricks and things that helped you get through, let us know below, because I know many of us have struggled with losing a therapist, moving therapists, and what do we do? Okay? Now, question number 2. Hey, Katie, I've recently started trying to process my childhood abuse, or childhood sexual abuse. It occurred frequently from the age of 3 till 9. However, until a few years ago, I'm now 25, I had no memory of it. How is this possible? Now I feel like I have 2 alternative lives and it's making me question everything about myself. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. I hope this makes sense. It totally makes sense. And know that it's very, very normal for us to not remember traumatic experiences. It doesn't matter if it was childhood sexual abuse, if it was a trauma. I've had cases I've gone over with other physicians and other therapists about people who witnessed their parents being killed or been in a car accident where everybody died except for them. And they honestly can't remember any of it. And they don't know why. Sometimes being in a car makes them anxious, or there can be symptoms that we exhibit without knowing where they come from. And it's very common for us not to have any memory. And the reason for that is because it's a defense mechanism. our body can kind of shut down. It's really overwhelmed. It's so frightened, and that fight or flight, our mind honestly blocks it out as a way to help us survive afterwards. It's a survival instinct. There's nothing wrong with it. It's very normal. It's actually really helpful because, like you said, you're 25 now and you didn't really remember until then. It like helped save you when you were younger. Get through it, push through it, not realize that it even happened, like forget about it. So it's, I mean, I know that what happened is terrible, but it's kind of cool the way that our brain protects us from situations that happen to us. Now, I totally understand that you're feeling like you have two alternate lives, because one is now when you have the memory of what's happened, and the other was when you didn't. But trust me, as you process this through with your therapist, like the Courage to Heal workbook is amazing. I would encourage you to pick it up because I love it and it's really helpful in times like this. But as you process through it, as you talk about it with your therapist, as you begin to acknowledge what happened, acknowledge where you are now, and work for the future, I promise that that whole feeling like they're separate lives will become more seamless. You'll recognize symptoms that you were exhibiting before you had the memory of it, and all of the things that come in between. So I would just encourage you to keep working on it. I know it's really hard. I know it's shitty. It's terrible. It just is the worst thing that could ever happen to us. But know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. People do survive from this. We come through it, and we can be stronger because of it. It doesn't have to define who we are, but it can help us become a better version of ourselves as we work through it. So stay strong, keep talking to your therapist, keep working on it. It'll get better. Okay, now question number 3. Hey Katie, it's finals week here at college and I'm having such a hard time getting up and studying and writing my essays. What can I do to get me to do what I need to do? It's a lot of do's. Love your videos. Thanks for all that you do. You're welcome, and doodly do. So I know that this may be a little late. Some of you told me you've already finished finals. Some of you are still in the midst of it. Some of you have some next week and then you go home. Everyone's schedule is different. But in general, if you're on the quarter system, you're gonna get back to school and we're gonna have this happen again. And school and deadlines, and I took my licensing exam, and all of the things that come along with testing and assessment is very stressful. And it can be hard to remain motivated when it feels like there's just this huge pile of stuff to do. It's like you sit down at your desk and someone comes and throws like this huge stack of papers. You're like, shit, I should just go back to bed and forget this happened. But the best way that we can navigate this and that we can minimize stress is planning. Now, I know that's not everyone's strong suit. I like to be organized. I'm a freakazoid of plannerness, so it helps me stay on top of things. But even if you're not, all you need is a calendar, one of those little book calendars, maybe an empty journal with pages that you can make notes and write lists. And I would encourage you each day to not require yourself to do more than 7 things. There's a bunch of studies saying that we can only do 7 things a day, like 7 to-do list things. Don't make it more than that, because it means that our likelihood of actually completing the list goes down dramatically. But when it comes to schoolwork, I would encourage you to focus on 1 to 2 topics a day, period. That's it. If you're going to study for something, 1 to 2 topics a day. Don't start getting into all your classes. Let's do maybe 2 topics. And only study for 30 to 45 minutes and then take 10 to 15 minute breaks. Now, I know many of you are like, but I gotta cram, Katie, I don't have time. But that doesn't actually help our brain absorb the information, and it's harder to recall it later. Trust me, there's a lot of studies on this. I was a psychology student, so I studied the studies on how to study. I promise, I do my research. So make sure you give your brain a break. It can't absorb the information if we just keep pushing it through. I know it feels like you won't get as much done, but you'd be more productive when you're actually studying if you do it that way. Just trust me on this. So we're gonna plan our days out, and you're gonna give yourself a half-day break. After you've studied, let's say for 3 days, make sure you get a day where you have most of the day off so you can kind of relax and reboot and reschedule for your next chunk of days. And if you fall a little bit behind, it means we push something to another day and we have to push something back. So keep in mind, we're trying to stay on track. And I know that this still sounds kind of stressful, but it's life. We have to start planning. And the sooner we can learn how our brain works and how best we study, the better we'll feel about it, and the less stress we'll even feel in general, because we'll be like, I got this, I planned this, I can do this, and we're all gonna rock. We can all do it. We'll all get through it. That's something I've always learned. Tomorrow will always come, and we will always get through the exam. So don't let your mind run wild with the what ifs. Like that journal topic I had. What's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? What's the most likely scenario? Maybe take some time if you're really stressing to think about that so that we have all the information that we've even plotted out and thought about, what are worst, what are best, what are most likely. And then remember to breathe, because I promise you it will be okay. Okay? Now the journal topic, thanks again, Sam, for that, is for a star to be born, there's one thing that must happen. A gaseous nebula must collapse. So collapse, crumble. This is not your destruction. This is your birth. Thought that was really powerful. Let's rewind the video and watch it again and then write it down. How have you collapsed and crumbled and born a star after it? I know I've had experiences like that. Some real shit times in my life have really helped develop and shape who I am today. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of those shit times. And I think you should be too. Okay, I love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you on Monday, and on Tuesday I'll be on Tumblr. See you then. Bye!